3 a.m. Can't sleep again. Not because of noise, my neighborhood's never been quieter. Not because of danger, statistically safer than ever. But because my brain is trying to solve all of humanity's abstract problems simultaneously. Then, my phone lit up with something that changed everything. But let me paint you another picture first. If someone from 1994 suddenly appeared in your living room, they'd be more shocked by your anxiety levels than your technology. They'd wonder how people surrounded by miracles became so terrified of tomorrow. But they wouldn't know what we're about to discover. See, I've spent the last decade analyzing market patterns, and I've noticed something every economist is missing. We're not experiencing market volatility. We're experiencing human volatility. The biggest trade of the century isn't in stocks or crypto or real estate. It's in human capability itself. And the window to position yourself is measured in months, not years. The market rewards pattern recognition. Here's the pattern everyone's missing. We're not in an anxiety epidemic. We're in an evolution event. And those who understand what's really happening are positioning themselves for the greatest wealth transfer in human history. While others hedge against apocalypse, the smart money is betting on augmentation. Every successful investor knows the biggest opportunities hide in paradoxes. Here's ours. We've achieved peak physical safety while experiencing peak psychological volatility. Crime rates plummet, anxiety rates soar, life expectancy doubles, future optimism halves, medical miracles multiply, mental health crumbles. Traditional analysis calls this correlation without causation. Wrong. It's causation without recognition. We solved all the simple problems: hunger, disease, basic violence. What remained? The complex, abstract, exponential problems. The ones our hardware wasn't designed to process. Think about risk assessment. Our ancestors evaluated immediate visible threats with immediate physical responses. Tiger equals run. Storm equals shelter. Simple algorithms for simple dangers. But modern threats, they're derivatives of derivatives. Climate change, AI disruption, economic complexity. These are structured products our neural risk models can't price. The result? Chronic mispricing of reality itself. We're running Stone Age software on Space Age hardware, and the bugs are manifesting as civilization-wide anxiety. But here's what the doomers miss. Every bubble creates opportunity for those who see it clearly. Let's talk velocity. In 1990, no commercial internet. 2007, no smartphones. 2020, no ChatGPT. We're not just changing fast, we're changing the rate of change. Exponential acceleration of exponential acceleration. Most people experience this as chaos. Smart investors recognize it as compound interest on human capability. The numbers tell the story. It took 100 years for electricity to transform society, 50 years for computers, 20 years for internet, 5 years for AI. See the pattern? Each transformative technology takes half the time of its predecessor to reach saturation. We're approaching what mathematicians call a singularity, not in the sci-fi sense, but in the calculus sense. A point where traditional models break down. This terrifies most people because they're using linear thinking for exponential phenomena. They see disruption as destruction. But disruption is just reallocation of value. The question isn't whether your job will exist in 10 years. The question is, what new forms of value will you be creating? Those positioning for the old stability will lose everything. Those positioning for adaptive capability will capture the transfer. Here's what behavioral economics teaches us. Humans overvalue stability and undervalue adaptability. We'll pay premium prices for the illusion of permanence. This creates massive arbitrage opportunities for those who recognize that stability is dead, but adaptation is priceless. Look at the data. People clinging to stable careers in disrupted industries, pouring money into degrees for disappearing professions, building retirement plans based on economic models that assume linear change. It's like buying blockbuster stock in 2007. The fundamentals look solid until you realize the entire paradigm shifted. Meanwhile, early adopters of each technological wave capture exponential returns, not because they predicted the future, but because they positioned for optionality. They built skills that compound, networks that adapt, mindsets that flex. They understood that in a world of constant change, the ability to change becomes the only real asset. The market is currently mispricing this shift catastrophically. Traditional assets assume mean reversion, but what happens when there's no mean to revert to? When change itself is the only constant? Smart money doesn't just bet on trends, it hedges intelligently. While positioning for technological acceleration, wise investors also build what I call cotton string assets, sources of stability and meaning that persist through volatility. This isn't about doomsday prepping or going off grid. It's about diversification across dimensions of human experience. Yes, learn AI prompting and digital skills, but also build local community connections, develop analog creative abilities, maintain physical health practices. These aren't retreats from the future, they're bridges to it. The data supports this. Studies show people with strong cotton string practices adapt faster to technological change. They have lower anxiety, higher creativity, better decision-making under uncertainty. In investment terms, they have lower volatility with higher returns. They're antifragile. Think of it as barbell strategy for human capital. On one end, maximum exposure to technological upside. On the other, grounded practices that provide stability. Nothing in the middle. That's where disruption hits hardest. The people thriving in chaos aren't choosing between technology and humanity. They're synthesizing both. Now here's the information that lit up my phone at 3 a.m. The insight that changes everything. The AI everyone's panicking about, they're calling it wrong. Dead wrong. And this misnaming is creating the greatest arbitrage opportunity in human history. They call it artificial intelligence. Sounds like competition, replacement, threat. But the smartest people in tech are calling it something else. Ambient intelligence, or augmented intelligence. Not artificial, ambient, surrounding us like electricity, not replacing intelligence, augmenting it, like glasses augment vision. Here's the trillion-dollar insight. We're about to compress centuries of productivity gains into a decade. Every knowledge worker spending 60% of their time on routine tasks, scheduling, data entry, basic analysis, report writing. What happens when that drops to 10%? What happens when human creativity gets 5x more time to create? I'll tell you what happens. The greatest unlocking of human potential in history. And it's already starting. Lawyers using AI for research handle 3x more cases. Doctors with AI assistants see more patients with better outcomes. Programmers with AI pair coding ship 10x faster. These aren't job losses, they're force multipliers. The market hasn't priced this in because it's still thinking in replacement terms. But history shows us, new tools create new possibilities. The printing press didn't eliminate writers. It created entire industries. The internet didn't eliminate commerce. It 100x'd it. AI won't eliminate humans. It'll 100x human capability. The fear sellers want you to hedge against AI replacing you. The smart money is positioning for AI amplifying you. One strategy assumes scarcity in competition. The other assumes abundance and collaboration. In 5 years, we'll look back and laugh at how obvious this was. So here's your investment thesis for the next decade. We're not in an anxiety epidemic. We're in an evolution event. The paradox of local safety and global instability isn't a bug, it's a feature of rapid capability expansion. And the AI revolution isn't humanity's replacement, it's humanity's IPO. The greatest wealth transfer in history is coming, but not through traditional assets. It's coming through human capability amplification. Those who understand this will position themselves accordingly. Learn AI tools like you'd learn any high-return skill. Build cotton string practices like you'd diversify a portfolio. Synthesize both like you'd balance risk and reward. The time traveler from 1994 would be shocked by our anxiety because they can't see what we're becoming. We're the last generation to remember pure human limitation and the first to experience augmented possibility. That transition is turbulent, but turbulence creates opportunity. Your move? Stop hedging against the future and start investing in it. The market rewards pattern recognition, and the pattern is clear. Adaptation beats stability. Augmentation beats isolation. Evolution beats extinction. The smart money isn't betting against human relevance, it's betting on human enhancement. The window is open now. Not in 5 years when everyone sees it. Now, while they're still calling it artificial instead of ambient. Now, while they're pricing fear instead of potential. What's your position going to be?